Welcome to Store Brand Cartoons. My name is Tio, and this is Mom.
Hi.
And today we're talking about My Hero Academia 2 Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
I brought the case with me this time. I remembered this time. So this one's Japanese, though the series itself is quite popular internationally. But I just really like this movie myself. And my mom, do you want to explain to them what, like, your blankets are? Like, your character theme blankets?
I design blankets that are inspired by, like, pop culture, sometimes literature, sometimes music, a lot of movies. And they're crochet blankets. And so I'm working on a My Hero Academia blanket for Tio. And so he wanted me to watch this so I had a better sense of what the characters were going to be like.
Yeah, because she thought when I first brought this up to her that just seeing images of the characters would be enough, but I knew that wasn't going to be the case because she sat on those images for a year. So since we're doing this series, I thought, hey, this is a perfect opportunity to show her like what these characters' personalities are like and what their powers are like and what they all look like in motion. So she already has more ideas just based on that.
Yeah.
So now moving into the questions, overall, like what was like your kind of, I guess, impression of this series, like and its characters, I guess, like what am I trying to say here, like.
Well, like, before I saw it, I wasn't expecting a lot. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it or like it. In my mind, anime was just, a cartoon. And, all the girl characters had lots of boobs and all the boy characters had lots of muscles. That's all I really knew. Or they were small 10-year-old boys who had no muscles but lots of power for some reason.
Like Naruto.
Yeah, kind of. So, when I did finally watch this, they do a pretty good job of, they definitely have a very, let's work together theme. There's, you can see that it does have, childish moments, but it doesn't focus on just being silly or stupid. It has, multiple themes throughout. A lot of it really, really relies on, like, friendship and teamwork makes you stronger, where you might be strong by yourself. If you work with somebody, it makes you stronger. I don't know. It just had some good themes in it, and it was pretty well acted, and I guess I came away with a better... I would watch it again. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, okay. I wouldn't shut it off if it were on.
All right. Yeah, the whole let's work together and friendship is my true power sort of thing is a pretty common theme through anime. But one thing that I enjoy about My Hero Academia in particular is the fact that even through teamwork, they could all have the opportunity to shine individually. Like, each individual's participation contributes rather than, like, just the fact that they are all working together contributes.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers where they all had to get together to make an animal. It wasn't like that. It definitely is where it allows for individuality, and each part is needed to work the whole.
All right. Now my next question is, do you think this movie supplied enough background information for you to get it? Like, do you think it stood on its own pretty well?
Oh, yeah. There was constant flashbacks. There were a couple of times where I was a little bit confused about what I was looking at, but I mean, it kind of leads you along. There's usually a definite distinction between a flashback and the present time. So,
which I personally think it's interesting they managed that, since the animation from the show itself already looks like almost movie quality. So the fact that the flashbacks and the present were so visually distinguishable still is, I think, impressive.
Yeah,
that they managed that,
and they did a good job. I mean, most of it obviously was just based on the age of the characters and stuff like that. but they did a good job of making the time period look like the time period it's supposed to be, as opposed to, oh well, it all looks the same. It's just, they were younger. Yeah, I felt like you could definitely watch that and not have to watch anything else if you didn't want to.
All right. How do you think it handled character introductions? Because one thing for me is I know what watching anime filler feels like. Because like when you're watching a long series like My Hero, there's a pretty clear line between what is based on the manga and what is sort of filler, which is like original content for the show that they're just using to kill time until they can adapt more manga. And for me personally, like even just down to the way characters were introduced in this movie felt there's things sticking out all over the place, felt fillery. And whereas like so like how do you think they handle like getting all the characters together and introducing them?
Okay, so you probably felt like it was a little fillery because you have background with the manga itself, and you've watched the show. If you're just taking this as a movie, as this one piece of information, it encompasses its own thing. However, I don't feel like they really explained who the characters were. I mean, they showed you what their powers were through their activity, but they didn't really, there was no real character development beyond the main, like, 5 or 6 people. Beyond that, everybody else was just kind of, oh, obviously they've got to be part of this group because they all have powers, but, you told me who everybody was. The movie didn't tell me who everybody was. So I felt like character development was lacking as far as the extraneous characters, but the main characters, they explained it very well. Yeah.
One thing about this movie is it definitely, and obviously because some characters, even just based on the show, have stronger personalities than others, but it's like, as soon as you see Bakugo, anyone who knows My Hero knows who Bakugo is, you know exactly like what his first actions in the movie are going to be. In fact, there's a point when they're doing character introductions and you hear a distant explosion, and your brain, if you know the series, you instantly think, oh well, this is Bakugo coming in. So
yeah, see, I had no idea. I don't know what the entrance theme things are for each character, so for me, I wasn't really paying attention to the other characters other than like, oh, I kind of like the way his hair looked, or oh, that character's really cool and that one's really fiery. I mean, like, you kind of made assumptions, or not predictions, but like you kind of got to know the characters based on what they were showing you, but you definitely did not have a sense of who they were to the same level of like Deku and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I guess based on what you saw in this movie, who is sort of your favorite?
I like the guy with the red and white hair. He's interesting.
Shoto.
I also, the guy who's like the robot-y, half robot-y kind of thing.
Oh, yeah,
who's the know-it-all. He's kind of interesting too. He makes an interesting character. I think the girls were all cute. I really like the little group that was particularly with Deku, the little the bubble girl, whoever that is.
The pink one?
Yeah.
Uraraka, or Ochako, I guess is probably easier.
Okay.
First name.
Sure.
But she
I really liked her, and of course I liked
she's a fan favorite character.
Dave's daughter, Melissa. But she was also a main character of the movie, so. Yeah,
and the funny thing is, she's not like a character from the show. She was a character made for the movie.
For the movie, so, okay.
Obviously, whenever one common thing with anime movies based on long-running shows, and anyone who's seen a Pokemon movie, or more than one Pokemon movie, will know this. Anime movies based on long-running shows have a tendency to make movie original characters that are kind of the main character of the movie, while the main characters of the show are sort of supporting characters.
Sure.
Because, like, I've seen multiple Pokemon movies, and most of them, when they create an original character who is added to the main cast for that movie, focus on the original character, while Ash Pikachu and his group are always sort of in the like supporting characters more
Sure,
or less.
yeah.
But I think this My Hero movie did a good job of introducing a new character who was definitely part of the main cast for the movie,
Right.
but stayed more in a support role while Deku was still the focus.
Right. They really had the My Hero people, you know, like the teacher and the student really played the major roles of the show. And I feel like Melissa was probably equal with Deku as far as like her participation in, you know, getting the thing to stop or whatever it was we were looking at. Whatever she did to save the day, she played a major role in that. He played a major role in that. Like, this particular small team had to work together.
Yeah. And one thing I find interesting about this movie is that it was written by the creator of the comic book, if I remember that correctly, and it actually does like take place in the timeline of the show, because most of these anime movies, based on long-running shows in particular, they like, it's a movie, but it's just a movie with the characters in it, and it's not really a part of the show.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z did it for most of their movies. In fact, only the most 3 recent Dragon Ball movies actually contribute towards Dragon Ball's timeline. All the Naruto movies did it. All the Bleach movies did it, and it's actually annoying to watch them once you know Bleach's story. But but this My Hero movie, like, it actually has a place in the timeline between the 2nd and 3rd seasons. And I found that interesting because then it was able to tie itself into the conflict of the show in a unique way while still being self-contained. Because there are references to the show's overall plot that take place there. But,
I mean, for my first anime, I thought that it was good. It was definitely one that made me say I would watch more anime. I don't know that it's my life.
Yeah, definitely not.
But I wouldn't say no necessarily to watching another anime. I know that we're going to be exploring other ones, but this was definitely a good introduction.
I'd say you are probably more of an anime movie watcher than a TV anime watcher.
Yeah, I'm not interested in watching things over and over and over again.
Yeah, because the thing about a lot of...
I can barely make it through an adult TV show like that.
Yeah, well, there are some adult anime shows.
Yeah, I know, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But, so, the experiment's pretty successful so far. We're being educational and broadening horizons.
My horizons. Yeah. Maybe your horizons, hopefully. Yeah.
And hopefully mine as well, because I got a ton of movies on my like checklist of movies I want to do for this that I haven't even seen yet. So.
Oh, okay. Well, stay tuned. We'll bring you some more fun stuff next week.
Yeah, if you think this directed you towards a movie that you might be interested in, I mean, and if you already like the show, which chances are you do, and I've also talked about the comic books in a few videos on this channel, then leave a like. That's an order. And we'll see you next time.